Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello there. We will take a cue from previous sessions. We have discussed business plan and we will continue from there. We will have two sessions on pitching the business plan. So, in today's session, we are going to start with elevator pitch, and then we will present another template, and finally, we will discuss an example of Airbnb, which is regarded as one of the best example of business plan presentation or business plan deck. So, let us move ahead and explain. So, today's contents are elevator pitch, ideal size of the slide deck, then guidance for right pitch. Just imagine that you want to approach to an investor, be an angel or high net worth individual. Now, look at the data. The data says that only 0.3% of the business plans that are presented finally funded. That means, out of 1000 business plans, only 3 are funded. That shows how busy, what is the kind of tremendous job that an angel will have to do. They have to go through so many business plans. So, obviously, if you just want an appointment, whether from his her secretary, or whatever method, through telephone or through email, chances are that you will not get it. But then there has to be a way to reach out, otherwise you will not, your business plan will be dumped along with another 1000 business plans. Then chances are very high that if your plans are not given enough adequate attention, chances are that it will be dumped into among the 99.7% of the business plans, but you want to put it on the other side. So, what you can do is you can observe, notice them, where do they go, when they take a cup of tea, or when are they free, when you can actually barge in and then start telling something, and by the time you are halfway through, you create enough interest for him or her to listen to the next part of it, rest part of it, and then finally, you should create enough interest in the person that he or she should think that perhaps your business plan will be among the 0.3% that they fund. So, at the end he is going to tell you, why don't you meet my secretary, fix up an appointment, or why don't you submit your business plan, mention about this meeting, something like that. Stated differently, suppose you want to reach out to Mr. Ratan Tata, same situation. All that you can do is you can observe him moving into a lift. So, when there perhaps there is nobody, or maybe somebody is there, they chit chat, no serious business discussion. So, you just barge in with him and start talking about your business model. So, your story should be attractive enough for Mr. Tata to think that there is enormous force into your story, and he has enough reason to listen it more. So, by the time he alight from the lift, he should be telling you that why don't you come over and let us discuss, something like that. But then your elevator pitch or speech should be succinct enough, at the same time should convey enough information as to why anybody should think that you have a winning business proposition. You yourself should be convinced that you have a compelling proposition and you are definitely going to win. You should not think that I have enough reason to win. It should be that there is definitive reasons that I am going to win. So, convey your winning proposition, convey what vision you have started with, and it depends on the audience also. Suppose you are talking to Mr. Ratan Tata, he is now not really looking for making money, but he will be more interested about a vision that may be social, that may be economical or whatever, or environmental. So, fine tune, paraphrase your story that suits or define your vision that suits or resonate with Mr. Tata. If you are talking to somebody else, slightly paraphrase, so that they become interested. Remember, it takes hardly 20 to 30 seconds for one to within the lift for reaching to their destination. So, it should be ideally 20 to 30 seconds, it can go at the most 60 seconds. It is not always necessary that you will be meeting somebody in the lift. Even if you are in a party, say business party, you may not get minutes of discussion to convey your message. Suppose you find somebody with whom you would like to network, 20 to 30 seconds should be good enough for you to talk to that person and arouse sufficient interest, so that he or she says, why don't we two together go to the balcony and talk more about it, or let us exchange our visiting cards and then why don't we connect, something like that. Ideally, it should convey what makes your offering unique. Try explaining why should one think that you will definitely succeed. Primarily means ideally, there is no definition, but ideally it should talk about your vision very importantly. Then what you do, what business, that how you are going to achieve that vision, why you have a winning proposition, what is your value proposition, what is your unique selling proposition that will definitely make you succeed. Deliver something for future reference. At the end of the 20 seconds or 30 seconds, you should be able to, you must have something in your pocket or in your bag, and you should tell that person that this is my card. At the same time, if you have a flyer where what they can refer in the future, you can give a very small but nicely prepared, professionally prepared with nice colors and all that to the person, so that he or she carries that. That will remind that person that yes, I met this guy and I would like to talk to this guy again. And then you may also propose that, seek an appointment for further, can I meet you or send you a mail clarifying more, something like that, or should I send a detailed flyer if you so wish. Most importantly, elevator pitch should be practiced and practiced, because you should not blubber while talking. At the same time, it should not be just like memorizing something and vomiting. It should be very well articulated, and the person should think that it is coming from your heart and not really somebody had tutored you to say something. I have one example. I have just invented a business model to prepare an elevator pitch. So, this business actually does not exist. So, I am just giving you some idea about a new business. When you buy some say consumer durable goods and you see the reviews, you will be confused. Majority of the reviews are, some people give 5 stars, some people give 2 stars, some people even give 1 star. Then you will be at a loss as to what is it. This information does not carry lot of sense. This happens because there is always a gap between the company and the customer. Many a times customers may complain, and then there will be a service engineer who does not respond properly, and people become exasperated, and then they give a 1 star rating. So, we are going to sit in between the customer and the company, or customer and the service engineer. We are going to make sure that service engineers attend the customer, and then the customers always give a 5-star rating, provided the product is wonderful. Most of the companies, most of the high branded product or good branded products are good. So, if customers have really reason to complain, somebody should attend that and then replace the product or something. Companies will be more than glad to replace a product if that has manufacturing defect or something. So, this is the pitch, elevator pitch for this company. Post sales of consumer durables, our company remains engaged with customers and service engineers to answer all queries and troubleshoot every complaint, so that customers get exciting experience and the sellers get a 5-star rating. We charge 2% of sales value and our cost so far is about 50% of that. We are present in parts of Mumbai, serving 2 multinationals, and has been expanding our reach fast. It is a niche market and we would like to spread in large geographies before competition sets in. Given the size of India's consumer durable market of about $50 billion, the serviceable available market size is 1 billion, and we target to obtain 10% of this market in the next 2 years. $1 million of funding should take us there. So, you are telling the entire story, including how much money you are actually looking for. So, it is almost like a presentation of a business plan. Now, look that there are data. I do not say that this is the best pitch or anything, I just made an attempt with limited time. So, any suggestion will be highly appreciated, but what I want to convey is that there should be data supporting your logic. There should be a first thing is you must start with a pain point, and it should be practical pain that people can connect with, and people should immediately realize that there is a problem. However, let us move forward. Do's and don'ts. Do not be verbose, do not put lot of jargon, and then the other party might not even connect with those jargons. And as I said, keep something at the end, so that you can hand it off like a visiting card or a flyer. Practice, refine as much as you can based on experience. Every time you pitch, you realize that okay, there was something like I was not okay at some point of time. Do not speak too fast, then you will lose the party, means your audience. Mindfully change the pitch of your voice up and down, depending on, not really mechanically up and down. Wherever you need to force, wherever you do not need, be down. Do not do rambling, just memorize and continuously speak. It should not be that way. Remain open to interjection. Suppose he raises a finger or starts speaking something, do not think that you need to finish your pitch. You must give your audience time, space, so that if they have a question, maybe they are already convinced, listen to them, or maybe they have a point against your proposition, listen, you can clarify. So, that is very important. Listening is very important. People say that God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Very succinctly the message is conveyed, meaning that you should always listen. If you listen thoroughly, your reply will be very focused. If you do not listen, if you just think that you have already understood what the person wants to say and then reply, your answer is definitely going to be wrong. Guy Kawasaki is an evangelist in entrepreneurship. He helps many entrepreneurs. He has written many books. He worked in Google, he worked with Apple. He is a wonderful guy, means he is a very successful guy, and whatever he says, people listen to that. He recommended that presentation or slide deck for a business plan should follow a 10-20-30 rule. What is that? 10 should be the number of slides. You should not exceed 10 slides, that is what he says. Then he says you should complete your pitch within 20 minutes. Why he says that? Because he thinks that if you really have some attractive proposition, it should not take more than 20 minutes to convey that. If you are trying to overemphasize a point or repeat a point repeatedly, then you are going to lose the people. They are going to think when this guy will stop this presentation, so that we can listen to another presentation or we can go for a cup of tea. So, we should not bore people to that extent. 20 minutes should be good enough. And then even if you are given say 30 minutes to talk, you have this 10 minutes to clarify, answer questions. If there is one question, you can answer it for 5 minutes, nobody will mind, because that is going to be an interactive session. People like to participate in interactive sessions, they do not get bored so easily. And when you are replying to one person, there will be a lot of interest in other people, they will also participate. So, that is why 20 minutes. 30 should be the minimum font size, because otherwise it stresses people's eye. Of course, I do not follow that, many people do not follow, but this is something to share with you in absence of anything else. And these are the 10 slides that he recommends. First slide is the title slide, where you talk about your company, address, etc., your introduction, like who are the details of the addresses of your business, identity of your business. Second is problem versus opportunity. What is the pain point and what is the pain that you are going to alleviate? So, or what kind of pleasure you are going to give people. Third is value proposition, you already know, I will not elaborate on them. Why customer will have reasons to buy from you and not from your competitors. Then underlying magic, like if you have a unique selling proposition or you want to give a wow or a aha moment to your customers, what is that? Then business model. Most of the people think business model is that component of the business where you talk about your revenue model. So, here also Guy Kawasaki thinks that this actually is the revenue model. So, whatever how you are going to make money, what kind, what is the ratio and what is the quantum of money. You should not say that we are going to make enough money, this, that. It should be in data that we are going to make this amount of money. Go to market plan, how you are going to acquire customer at the beginning and then retain them. Competition analysis. So, what is the competition landscape, competitive landscape, then how you are going to alleviate or overcome the competitive pressure. Then complementary key skills of the management team. Okay, the team is already there. Then financial projection. Financial projection should precisely talk about what is the top line and the bottom line. Top line is the sales, bottom line is the profit. Then what is the net cash flow happening every year. So, how you are growing or whether there will be negative cash flow. Then traction, meaning where you are now. You have a long journey to travel, but where have you reached so far, meaning do you have a prototype, have you sold 1, 2, 3 products to customers, how many customers you have acquired, etc. Those 10 slides. Okay. Now, additional information, of course, the team is already there, I thought they are not there. Then product demo is not there. In some slide, maybe slide number somewhere, say just before go to market, when you talk about underlying magic, after slide number 4, perhaps you can talk about your product more. Suppose you have a prototype or you have a video to demonstrate. So, just take a digression and start the video to convey your audience that this is the product or this is our service, this is how customers are so happy, smiling customers, etc. At the end, you should be able to say, or you must say that we are looking for this amount of money. So, that your audience get a holistic view that okay, this guy has an winning proposition and this is the amount of money that he is looking for. So, if somebody, suppose you are looking for $1 million, if somebody is ticket size or say fund size is $10 million, he may not be interested. If somebody is say $2, $3, $4 million, they may be interested. So, you will know, or the right guy will connect with you immediately thereafter. So, you should give holistic information. Now, you have seen that most of the template contains more or less the same information. It is not the template or the format that matters. It is the content that you provide in the format. Follow any format, but the contents matter. And at the beginning I said you should be absolutely sure that you have a compelling reason to win, not enough reason. Guy Kawasaki says, and this is very, very true, that is it should not be just text in your presentation. Every page, every slide should contain some image or diagram, some schematic, some flow charts, because people do not like text, like to read text. You are talking and people will read the slides, so there will be disconnection. Rather than doing that, whatever you are speaking, there should be something, some image for them to connect, will be a wonderful proposition. Look what Glenn Sayers has to say. He says, if a picture is worth 1000 words, that is a saying, a prototype is worth 10,000 slides. So, rather than having 10,000 slides, the information that you can provide with 10,000 slides, you can give that with a prototype. So, if you have some kind of a tangible prototype, bring it here, show it. That is the best suggestion. If you have really, do not worry about aesthetics, it may not look nice, it may not be well packaged. If it is well packaged, that is most wonderful, but even if it is not, try to bring it here. People will know that you are not telling some cooked up stories, but it actually works. If that is not possible, at least a video. So, if a picture is worth 1000 words, a video contains at least 1000 frames of pictures. So, you can multiply and see. Now, this is the example of Air Bed and Breakfast, that is Airbnb. They are winning pitch deck. I have taken it from Slide Bean. This is a blog, a startup company, wonderful site. One can visit that. Now, Airbnb deck had something like 20 slides, where there are something like 14 items or 14 items, right. So, start with cover, then problem, solution, market validation, market size, product, business model, etc. Let us move forward and see the problem. So, succinctly mentioned. So, we must understand that after this slide, nobody will have any iota of doubt about the right problem, right pain, and there are 3 items in this. Number 1, price is an important concern for customer booking travel online. So, price is a concern. If we can offer something at a low price, they will be so very happy. So, price is enough. Then hotels leave you disconnected from the city and its culture. If you book a hotel, they will never tell you that, they will never take you to somewhere where you can meet some people, local people, and exchange your culture with them, their culture with you, do something hands on with them, etc. Whereas, this is a problem again. Now, third problem is there is no easy way to book a room with a local. Suppose like renting, you cannot book a room with a local people, and on the other side, if you have a room, you cannot become a host. There is no way there. So, 3 problems. Now, immediately thereafter, they talk about solution. They talk about their company that provides a web platform where users can rent out their space to host travelers, meaning homeowners can host travelers. So, 3 problems were there, look at the solutions. Now, because there are so many hosts in the world, so they can provide their rooms at an affordable price. So, users or visitors can save money. Now, homeowners could not make money, they have empty rooms, meaning idle rooms, extra capacity. Now, they can make money, and then when they meet together, they can exchange culture, they can meet and share their own challenges, aspirations, and happiness together. So, that makes a wonderful sense. I copied this slide from Slide Beans. Okay, next slide, talk about market validation, why your audience should think that this is a proposition that will attain traction or that has already attained traction. It is not some hypothesis or some leap of faith. Why so? Because total users in another website called Craigslist.com is 6,70,000, and temporary housing listing called Couchsurfing, they have 17,000 users. Now, they are not competitors, because they are not offering all that Airbnb has been offering. So, even though they are connecting, they are referencing these companies, they have clear differentiator. Now, they talk about market size, clear data. Depending on data from Craigslist and Couchsurfing, they say that trips booked worldwide is about 2 billion number. Given that data, the budget and online serviceable market, the SAM, that was the SAM is about $560 million, and then or number 560 plus million transactions are going to happen. Now, the SOM or serviceable obtainable market, the target is 15% of SAM. So, 15% of 560 million is about 84 million transactions that are going to happen in the portal of Airbnb. Then they talk about products. They have 4 slides on that, and every slide has images like product showing interior of a room and a laptop. That is the first slide. Then search by city, they give wonderful images of different countries with people that depicts their culture. Then they give a page with review listing, where people have nicely commented their wonderful experience about staying in Airbnb properties. And the last slide is a call to action, they call book it. So, their customers are going to book at this page. Let us move slightly faster. Then business model, as I said, this is regarded as the revenue model. Many people think that this is the revenue model, whatever that is. So, here they provide absolute concrete data, nothing hypothetical nor something subjective. So, they say that $84 million is the total transactions that they are going to target, that is 15% of available market, and they are going to charge $25, that is 10% commission on each transaction. So, 10%, or say if an average person stay in a room, he or she is going to pay $80 a night, and they are going to stay on an average 3 nights. So, the commission is going to be on $240, commission is about $25, and they are going to achieve a revenue in the next 12 months to the extent of $200 million. That is their data. Now, they talk about competition. It is just a kind of a depiction. In the competitive landscape, what they provide is, on the y axis they show affordable at the top and expensive at the bottom. On the x axis they show offline transaction and right side online transaction. Most of their competitors either expensive and online or expensive and offline, or offline and affordable. So, they do not fit, they are not giving both affordable as well as online transactions that Airbnb gives. So, that is how they are trying to convey the competitive landscape. And here also they have other points about competitive landscape. First to market, ease of use, they are profiling the homeowners, so that if somebody is visiting from abroad to another country, they have a fair idea how they behaved with strangers in the past, because in the past their guests have profiled them, they rated them. So, you know that okay, these guys are trustable. Then other benefits like homeowners will list only once in lifetime, like Craigslist, they want them to list every day, they do not register them for good. Design and brand, host incentive. So, there are so many points out there. Then in the next slide they give user testimonials. There are wonderful comments given by their guests, and then press reports. Press also reported very nicely about them. They give cuttings of, not cuttings, but some succinct messages, maybe headlines of that, to drive home the point that they have a wonderful proposition given by independent press, not some guest or somebody. The last slide is about financial, meaning how much money they need, how much money they are going to make. So, first data is they are looking for an angel round of 500,000, $500,000, that is the investment opportunity, and they will have 80,000 transaction with an average $25 per transaction. So, 25 multiplied by 80,000 is 2 million revenue in the next 12 months. So, they are talking about their revenue and why this revenue, because there are 80,000 transactions and how much money they are looking for is the last slide for Airbnb presentation. Now, having said all of that, a good start can be very short story. Like people like to hear a story wherever you present, whether it is a business model or anything else. If you start with a story, people will immediately focus on you, their attention will be on you. Otherwise, it will take some time for you to really draw their attention. At the beginning, you will find people are talking to each other. So, gradually they will attend, but start a story, people will immediately look at you, number one. Number two, if the story actually resonate with them, if the story talks about a captivating scenario, then they are going to remain connected. Any presentation, you should start with a bang and you should end with a bang, like the first experience and the last experience is very, very important. So, initially you should start with a story that captivate them with your presentation, and the final should be a wonderful finishing line, maybe with a quotation, or maybe you convey enough information that sounds like a success story. So, you finish that having said all of that, these are going to, like Airbnb has given a wonderful line, it looks like a tagline that $500,000 and 2 million is our revenue with etc. Remember, you must plan, rehearse and perform in front of a live audience. You may think that you have prepared enough and you can present on the stage. It never happens. You really have to present and then see, you have to time it, etc. Some do's and don'ts. Most importantly, you must come prepared, well dressed and very neat and clean. You should not come with untidy hair or in a chappal or something. Your dress matters very much. It is said that dress is 50% in an interview as well as in a presentation. Suppose in an interview, remember, in an interview you do not dress to look nice, you dress because you value the other people. Your dress shows or your attire shows how much value you attach to your audience. That is why you should dress well, that will tell the audience that we value you. Remain relaxed, do not be nervous or something, and particularly do not stick to the ground, do not stay at one place, keep moving, because sticking to one place will give a monotonous connotation to your presentation. Do not engage in self praising, do not say we have done this, that, etc. I am so and so, I stood first in so and so class. All this does not actually interest your audience. And at the same time, you should not batter your competitor. Do not say that competitors do not have a winning proposition because of this, etc. Avoid the podium. Do not hide yourself behind a podium, because your hand movement, your body movement matters a lot, and that gives a lot of message, that means a lot. PowerPoint is not the message, not the messenger, told by David Fernandez. You are the messenger, and what comes out of your mouth is the message. PowerPoint is simply to guide you. Words are tools for conveying ideas. Try to be as succinct as possible. Do not try to waste people's time. If you can remove anything without reducing the value of your presentation, remove that. That is the lean philosophy. Let your movements mirror what you are saying. Like if you are trying to force something, make some movement to force. If you are saying some 1, 2, 3, like show it like 1, 2, 3, something like that. So, that will kind of break the monotony. Listen as long as someone is, suppose somebody interfere, do not think that your time is getting wasted, you have a allotted time and somebody is interfering, listen and then completely answer, clarify. At the most you can say that, sir, I am sure that during my rest of the presentation your question will be answered. So, wait for a while, but then write it down and remember to answer that. Otherwise, they will think that you do not have an answer. Mild smiling can make you seem approachable. So, try to practice doing that. Fidgeting is a clear indication that you lack confidence, do not do that. Then another important piece of advice, start with an infographics. If there is an infographics, connecting all the pieces together that summarizes your presentation is a wonderful idea. Bring something tangible, like something like say a prototype. Reference, some last comment. Thank you so much.